Hi everyone, it's Marieta. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to apply for Diversity Visa Lottery 2022. So the first step you're going to do is to go to the website dvprogram.state.gov. This is the official link where you can apply. As you know, in this year, in 2020, you can start applying from October 7th till November 10th. And the next thing you're going to do, you're going to carefully read the instructions. So click here, DV 2020 instructions. And it's opening up. And by the way, I already made a video where I did explain step by step how to apply for DV Visa Lottery. So you can go ahead and check it out. It's called DV Visa 2020 requirements. So we're not going to read it all, but basically I highly suggest you go here and read the instructions carefully. Once you're done, then you're going to go back and you're going to check the photo if you apply. You're going to click on the photo and you're going to read the instructions, because always I'm getting the same questions over and over again. Is my picture good, and so on. And in order for you to understand if you qualify, you have to first check the picture. You have to understand that your picture should be with a white background, no hats, no shadows. Just read the instructions, and once you're done, you can even check if your image is sufficient. So again, everything you gotta do is just read the instructions, and here you have the tool. It's called the photo tool. If you have problems with your photo, you can double check if it works, and it will tell you if the picture is good enough. For purposes of demonstration today, I'm just going to be using a picture that isn't good, so you can see what happens if you are submitting a picture that is not suitable. So this is how we're going to go. You're going to click begin the entry. You have to type these numbers and letters. Click submit. And here we are. So this is how the electronic diversity visa entry looks like. It's always electronic entry. You have about 30 minutes to fill this out. And sometimes there is an issue with the server. If that happens to you, don't freak out. In that case, you just have to reload the server and do it again. So let's do this. If you have a middle name, you can use the middle name. Otherwise, click no middle name. Date of your birth. By the way, the minimum age is 18, but you can be 17 in order to apply if you're meeting the requirements when it comes to education and work experience. If you need more information, go back to my video where I did explain this requirement. So even if you're 17, you can still apply if you already graduated high school or equivalent, or you have equivalent. City where you were born. If you don't know, click birth unknown. Country. Now, if you don't qualify for DV Visa Lottery because you're not from the country that is eligible, there are two exceptions. Number one, you can claim eligibility based on your spouse. In that case, your spouse is from eligible country, or from your parent. If you don't qualify based on the country you were born, you're going to click here no, and then you're going to select the country of your spouse or your parent if that's the case. And again, I made a video, so you go back and check out my video on this. I'm going to link that video for you. Moving on, passport. Passport information, so important. People ask me this question, do I need a passport to apply? Yes, you do need a passport to apply. I'm going to go into this. If you are exemption, you're going to still apply, but only if you are exempt. Typically, people need to have a passport in order to apply. So, first we're going to start with the last family name. First name, middle name if you have one, passport number, month of expiration of your passport, and day of expiration. Now, country of issuance. Now, this is the exemption. If you're somebody who doesn't have passport because you are stateless, or you are a national of communist controlled country and unable to obtain a passport, or you are unable to obtain passport and have received individual waiver, you can still apply. If you don't fall under these categories, you cannot apply without passport. End of story, guys. Now, moving on, entrant photograph. Like I said, you have to read the instructions, what kind of picture you need to submit, etc. Now I'm going to demonstrate and show you what happens if your picture is wrong, because I'm consciously going to submit the wrong picture because I don't have the right picture. I'm not submitting the entry myself. So we're just going to make this up. Okay, let's do this one. We're going to upload. It's obviously wrong picture. You can see that. Now, mailing address, city, district, code. If you don't have a postal code, click no. Country. Country where you live today. Important question. If you live in different country, if you reside in a different country, you make sure to put down the country where you live today. So for example, if you're a student, you currently live in the United States under student visa, you're going to click United States or any other country, whatever is applicable. Phone number, this is optional. Email address, make sure to use the email address that you have access to. Confirm. Now, moving on, education. If you know the minimum requirement is high school diploma or equivalent. I already made a video specifically where I explain the requirements when it comes to education or work experience. If you need, go back and check out that video, but you make sure you add a level of education achieved as of today, not in the future, as of today. Now, moving on, what's your current marital status? If you are unmarried, don't worry about this, you're just going to click unmarried. If you're married to a spouse who is not a US citizen or permanent resident, you can include your spouse, okay? In this case, I'm just going to click unmarried. Now, what happens when you include your spouse? You're just going to include her information, pretty much the same information you are filling out for yourself. You're going to include as well your spouse. Who is not US citizen or lawful permanent resident, and your spouse can do the same for you. This way you guys are increasing chances to be selected. Now, same things apply with kids. If you have children, you can obviously include your children if they are under 21, okay? And you can read here, children include all biological children, legally adopted children, stepchildren who are unmarried and under 21 years old. And this has to be today when you're submitting the entry, not in a week or two. Today, when you're submitting the entry. If you obviously have no kids, you're just gonna click, you're just gonna put down 0. And then you're gonna click continue. And now I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen if you have the wrong picture. See, there is an error because it automatically. See, I made a mistake. I click here, which was wrong. But basically, the main problem is the picture. So if you have the right picture, the system will allow you to continue. If you have the wrong picture, you cannot submit the entry. So don't worry about it, guys, because you always ask me, what if I have the wrong picture? Well, if you have the wrong picture, you cannot submit the entry. If you do have the right picture, you won't be able to continue. So let's suppose that you continue. In that case, I would click continue and it will ask me to review the application. You carefully review everything. You review your email. you review your name. It has to be the same name as it's issued on your passport, okay? And then you submit the entry. Once you submit the entry, you can save the confirmation number because you will need it next year when you will check out if you were selected. And I'm going to show you in a second how you check if you were selected, but you can only do it obviously next year in May or June, okay? Now, if you need to dig deeper, if you need help with this process, I have a program, step-by-step program below this video that's going to guide you everything all the way from step 1 till the end. And this program will guide you again step by step, and it will explain everything further. If you need help, it's going to be below this video. You can certainly purchase it. Right now it's discounted. Now I'm going to show you what's going to happen and how you're going to check if you were selected. So next year, DV visa DV program.state.gov, you're going to click and you're going to click check status. This is going to be next year in May or June. Continue. And here you're going to submit that confirmation number that you're going to save today. You're going to fill this out, last name, year of birth, and authentication. Let's say you forgot the number. This is what you're going to do. You're going to click forgot the confirmation number, and you're going to click last name, first name, middle name, date of birth, and the same email address that you use today. That's why it's so important to use email address that you are using, you have access to, and you remember. If you have 10 different email addresses, you make sure to make a note what email address you use for this particular DV visa lottery, okay? And that's how you're going to retrieve that confirmation number, because there is no way for you to check if you're selected only through that email address, okay? So I hope this is helpful, guys. I'm also linking additional videos for you, so check it out when it comes to requirements and so on. And good luck, everybody. Remember, you can still apply till November 10th, 2020. Good luck, everybody. If you have any comments, questions, leave them below. If you need to book consultation with me, link is going to be below this video as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for different videos that